Greetings, 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 redheads. Thank you for joining me in another edition of your favorite show, the one, the only Red's View. Of course, I am your gracious host. I go by the name of J Red. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in on tonight's broadcast. If you have not already, I don't know what you're waiting on. Hit the subscribe button. That's right. Hit the subscribe button. Also, hit the like or the dislike button. The like or the dislike button is all good. Hit the share button as well. We want to get some traction on this video. So, when you hit the like button and the dislike button, it gets the algorithm going. Most importantly, subscribe to the channel. Also, make sure that you comment. Make sure that you comment under this video. Join the chat. The chat group always is on fire. I try to my best to engage everybody. So I'm going to show you your conversations. I'm going to show your comments in the chat group so I can respond to them as much as I can. I like this for it to be an interactive space so people can chime in and discuss things and stuff like that. Man, we got a lot to discuss, a lot to talk about. Again, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for all of my new subscribers. We're getting new subscribers, ladies and gentlemen, that are coming in each and every day. I appreciate y'all dropping love on the channel. And before I begin this video, before we talk about what we're going to talk about tonight, I got to give a big special shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson. That's right. Y'all know him, popular YouTuber O'Shea Duke Jackson. He gave a shout out to the channel, man. He gave a shout out to Red's View. Let me show y'all what he said, man. I was honored by this. This was dope. Hold on. You know what? I think I still had. Do I got this muted? Unmute. Okay. Let me see if this plays. All right. Listen to O'Shea Duke Jackson, man. Let me go back. This is what he had to say.
There was a brother. Shout out to this brother, man. He's a very good YouTuber. He broke it down.
Fair
Shout
use.
out to Red's View, right? This brother, Red's View, R3DS View. Good brother, man. Shout out to the brother. He broke this down. He gonna blow up on YouTube, right? Shout out to the family. I want you to hear his interpretation of Lil Wayne and why he's not Super Bowl material.
Y'all owe Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z an apology because Lil Wayne is not a good performer anymore, ladies and gentlemen. And he showed us this last night. Shout out to O'Shea Duke Jackson, man. Much love to you. If anybody can reach out to him, I was trying to reach out to him not only by just commenting on his video, but I was trying to get an email from him, Instagram. I looked on his Instagram page, but it looked like he hadn't posted in a couple of years, so I didn't know if he checked that. But if anybody can get in touch with O'Shea Duke Jackson, anybody who is subscribed to his channel, they can get in contact with him. Let him know J Red is searching for him, man. I want to get that brother's contact so we can collab on some stuff, man. But again, O'Shea Duke Jackson, the popular YouTuber, shouted me out, used my video talking about Lil Wayne and everything like that. So I want to give a special thanks because that was a good shout out, man. So shout out to you, O'Shea Duke Jackson. We got to link up, man. But anyway, without any further ado, let's go ahead and get into what we're going to talk about. All right. We got a lot to address, but this is the main topic for tonight. All right. So Skepta says Kendrick took it too far with Drake. Drake? What? Yeah, Skepta. Now, from my understanding, Skepta is he a drill artist, UK artist, something of that sort. And he was on Ebro's podcast that's on Apple Music, because Ebro from the morning radio show on Hot 97. Ebro has his own platform with Apple Music. Him and a couple of other people. Oh my God, I forgot the names of those folks. Y'all forgive me, but yeah. So I kept seeing this for the past several days on my Twitter feed. I keep seeing what Skepta had to say about this, about Kendrick Lamar and the Drake beef. Took it too far. In particular, what Kendrick said about Drake, he took it too far. So before I give my opinions about this, let's look and see what was said. This is fair use, by the way, fair use. Let's see what Skepta had to say about this so we can chime in.
I think it's changed now, and probably this battle, what I just saw is probably what is hit the nail.
In this battle, he's talking about Kendrick versus Drake. Fair use again, fair use.
On the head for me, where it's like, when stuff gets said like that now, today, it's more personal.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's something about...
There was a lot of lying on it. There was a lot of lying. People was just saying...
There was one...
Shit. They was just saying shit.
There was one K-Dot diss track that came out, and I was like, oh, this is over. Like, this isn't rap. This isn't a rap diss and clashing anymore.
No, they don't like each other.
This is over. Like, they don't like each other.
Okay, he's talking about Kendrick Lamar. He's the K dot because he has an accent. I don't know if everybody can hear him, but he said it was one particular song where it's not about rap anymore. They really like beefing. Okay,
it's clear. I can hear it. Like, I can hear it in his voice. He doesn't like Drake when it sounded like you two just really want to see each other and do each other something.
Yeah.
But
I was like that would hit him up, and I even said the same shit.
Okay, yeah, hit him up. All right,
you know, when Pusha T and Drake was doing their thing, and he said the shit about 40, I was like, nah, I don't like that. I don't like that shit.
Okay, let me try to speed it up.
It goes far.
Okay.
Maybe you know what? It's age.
No. We're gonna hit it though, Ebro.
Okay, so we're not age. It's not that we're getting older and getting more filtered. Okay.
We got time. Even if they cut the cameras off, we're gonna figure this out. Do you know what I think it is?
Huh?
Because they are in positions where they are both
the biggest.
They are both really big, have major deals, major cahoots with major companies, right? Talking to each other like this is looking crazy. Like,
that's a good point.
You're calling him a word, but this guy's signed to thing. So now,
okay, so he says that you're calling him a word. He's referring to what Kendrick Lamar called Drake continuously in some of the songs, and particularly Not Like Us.
How can they sign a man that is being accused of this thing? So now the things that when I was clashing in grime, we never had nothing to lose. There you go. This is where I'm landing now. So when we're saying things to each other, you could call me anything in the world. I'm not gonna lose a Nike deal.
Right.
I'm not gonna not be able to put food in that probably even get me more money because we'll go to the show and do the clash.
Okay, all right. So it's enough of what
stage and more people are
talking about. Hold on. All right. So one thing I wanted to say before I chime in, look at what Dwan B. Shout out to brother Dwan B. This is what he had to say about it. He said, different cultures speaking on hip hop, Black America has a rule: don't start none, won't be none. And we clown, we go all the way. Difference is once we are done going all the way, we know how to make up and move on. When you bring a Canadian half Negro in the battle, he don't know how to move on. And when you have people from the UK and non-Black Americans watching, they don't understand what they're seeing. This is all proof, y'all. This is proof y'all just guess. The originators of this culture know what it is. All right, so I feel them on that. So here's my thing. Oh, shout out to Karen. We got Karen in the building. Didn't Drake started it? He throws rocks, hides his hands. Yep. Eddie, you said timeout so you can kill a motherfucker and they family, but being called a pedophile is too far. All right. And shout out to It's Madeline Matilde. His very direct about what Dot did, but skips over what Drake called Kendrick. Oh, yeah, we about to chop it up. All right. So this is my thing. Since when did taking it too far become prominent in a rap battle? Because if we go back in the history of rap battles, it's always been about roasting, MCing, battling, making that other person embarrassed to where they don't even want to walk down the street. That's what rap battling is. You're gonna get to the point to where that person's blood is boiling inside of them and they want to swing on you. All right. Now, going based off of history, right? When you think about Ice Cube and No Vaseline going to NWA, he was literally talking about the R word. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say the R word, but sticking broomsticks up, their rear ends, right? Tupac hit him up. I mean, that's self-explanatory, right? But my first thing is this. If Drake would have won this battle, I want everybody to put their thinking caps on. If Drake would have won this battle, would it be all of this stuff saying, hey, you taking it too far, this, that, and the third? Would it be all of this discourse? Because it seems to me that a lot of people, and I've said this numerous times, are very upset that Drake lost. A lot of people who have been wave riding, dick riding Drake for the longest, right? He's been at the top, well deserved, right? You can say what you want about Drake, but Drake has been dominant for the last 15 years. But a lot of people were hurt that their GOAT fell to the bottom. right? Now Drake is still Drake, right? But his moves afterwards has been making him look more foolish, right? He hadn't been able to bounce back on his feet like he did previously. So my first question is that if Drake would have won this battle, would there be all this taking it too far? And I'm talking about when Drake called out Whitney, which is Kendrick Lamar's fiance. He made fun of them not being married, made up lies about Kendrick beating his wife, right? This whole battle was about MCing, and if we're talking about lies, both of them allegedly told lies on each other. It's just that Kendrick Lamar's lies stuck out better, right? You can say what you want about the pedophilia thing, but if that's the evidence that man has, or that's what he believes, just like we didn't know officially if Tupac had sex with Faith Evans, but he said it loud on the record. I'm talking about the very beginning when it opened up, and it made you believe it. And then to make it worse, Faith Evans, her dialogue after that made you feel like she was lying. So in history, rumors, lies, myths, untruths, whatever the case may be, have all been thrown out there, and we don't have official evidence, right? We don't have official evidence. Now, we had official evidence that Drake used ghostwriters, right? But we didn't have official evidence that Kendrick Lamar beat up on Whitney. And if you remember in Euphoria, that was pretty much a warning diss track. Now, that's my favorite diss track out of all the diss tracks that came out with their exchange with each other, right? But in that, he said, if you take it there, I'm taking it further. That's something you don't want to do. He warned them. The very first song Drake made this and Kendrick Lamar, he brought up Whitney. He didn't learn from the last time when he beefed with Pusha T. He brought up Pusha T's Beyonce. Pusha T's fiance. And Pusha T said, well, you talking about my fiance, let's talk about your Beyonce. And Pusha T let it all out that Drake has a child that he was hiding from the world. So the point of bringing that up is that Drake takes it there. You can't get personal, and when someone makes fun of your producer dying and someone makes fun of you being a pedophile, then you want to cry foul. Now, I'm not saying that Drake did this. I'm talking about in the defense of his fans being in defense of him, because you can't say, oh, now you call him this and you're messing up his Nike deal. You're messing up. Nobody said nothing like this about Ja Rule. Ja Rule had a full career going on, and I know a lot of people were sick of him already, but he had a full career going on. But what do people do? They laugh and say, aha, you got Ja Rule, aha, 50 Cent ruined your career, aha, aha. When someone gets their career ruined by their favorite artist, they celebrate that. We celebrate that. But now the Drake stans are in their feelings because the allegations of him being a pedophile got put on him, and now they want to cry foul. Because if you notice, Drake has been being Drake, right? But he hasn't said, okay, that was too far. That was too far. Now, you can't get into rap battles, man. If that's the case, just don't say nothing. Kendrick took offense to the whole, it's just me and J. Cole. And then J. Cole said that we're the big three. Kendrick Lamar took offense to that, called out Drake. And then what happened after that? Drake decided to respond. So if you respond with push-ups, and you want to immediately start taking shots. See, if you would have kept it to a minimum and just talk about Kendrick's height, talk about his albums, talk about whatever the case may be with that, right? But you wanted to dig the nail in his skin and get at his fiance, knowing that was going to drive him off. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they were playing kind of tit for tat, and then Kendrick just went full blown on him. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't, this whole thing, I just think that this whole thing would have been different if Drake would have won the battle. Say Drake would have called Kendrick a pedophile or whatever the case may be, right? If he would have did that, would his fans be like, man, that was too far. You didn't have to say that about him, Drake. Would they? Or they say, oh, yeah, that little Kung Fu Kenny, he thinks that he can talk about you, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, if both of them were, see, the difference is we saw Drake kiss a 17-year-old on stage after asking her how old she is, right? We saw him kissing that girl on stage. Anyway, that was the only proof that we have of him allegedly being that pedophile, right? And I'm not calling him that. Now, the biggest song in the world, still one of the biggest songs of the world, is calling him that, and it's going to be performed at the Super Bowl. But I'm just sick of these Drake fans and Drake stans, and I'm not calling Skepta that, but Skepta isn't from our culture. Just like Dwan B said, Skepta's not from our culture, so he doesn't know how dirty it could get. Maybe he didn't hear Tupac's hit him up. He's talking about people losing Nike deals and people not want to do stuff. That's a part of being a rapper. I'm sorry. Hip hop was built off of controversy. Hip hop came from the streets. So what do you expect to happen? That's equivalent to getting in a fight. When someone gets in a physical fight and someone gets killed, you know, you could say, hey, that person took it too far. But if that person is defending themselves and they feel like it's life or death, it's going to be what it is. That's the same way rappers treat beef. That's the same way they treat each other on the diss tracks. You know, so I don't see a problem with him using that term to Drake. Because if you can't tell Kendrick how to feel, just like you can't tell Pusha T how to feel when you bring up somebody's fiance, bring up their wife, especially if you lie on them. Because now this is the thing. Calling someone a pedophile is way bigger than saying that someone beats up on their girlfriend, beats up on their wife, right? But say that you didn't call them the pedophile. Say that Kendrick was just dissing Drake for being mixed race, like y'all say he did, being a Canadian, not from our culture, right? Drake bringing up, okay, let me find out what Whitney need. You be beating up on her, all this other stuff, right? Would Drake fans say that he took it too far there? Because that's not confirmed. Whitney's never came out and said nothing. There was all he say, she say. But like I said, you throwing out that he beat his wife, him throwing out that you're a pedophile, is just the pedophilia thing's gonna stick out way stronger than that. Maybe you should have called Kendrick that. Let me see what y'all saying. You say PDF or something so you don't get demonetized. Now, yeah, you're right. The fact that we had to tell people to stop saying Tyler is in the top 3 lets you know Cole isn't top 3 worthy. When it was Jay, Nas, and Pac and Big having DMX or Snoop in there, wasn't wild. Yep. Also, it's interesting that this comes out after the Grammy nominations. It's like they come out each time Kendrick achieves something, just like the Super Bowl situation. Yep, you're right. You know what? I didn't think about that. As soon as the Grammy nominations came up, and I think he has 5 or 7 nominations this year with Not Like Us. I know 5 with Not Like Us, and I think he has a couple of more with Like That, I want to say, right? But yeah, it's funny that they try to sabotage the light that is shed on Kendrick. And Kendrick was the underdog in this. Y'all remember how they tried to flip it and act like Drake was the underdog in this because the industry was against Drake? I remember what happened. I remember Fat Joe had said verbally, like, Kendrick, he lost this. He's taking too long to respond. Do y'all know how long it took Nas to respond back to Jay-Z for Takeover? 6 months. Damn, like half a year later. I know things are different now to where you can cook up something real quick, put it on the internet, right? But the industry was on Drake's side. When Push-Ups came out, boy, they thought he was the second coming to Jesus. Oh, he responded back. Kendrick don't want no smoke. Euphoria came out. I think he slaughtered them on that, but it was still people talking trash. It's talking about, that was too much. It took Not Like Us to be the final death blow for people to just go ahead and sum it up. Yeah, Kendrick won. He ate him up on Meet the Grams, but Kendrick was the underdog that ended up showing that he was the big dog, you know? And what you say, if you think there's too many coincidences in the absence of Jay Prince in this beef is interesting. You're not the only one. That is right, man. You brought that to my attention. I did not think about that. Every time something comes up, I can't wait to see what they do with the Super Bowl, though, man, because the only thing you could say is you didn't like his performance. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? That's the only thing you could probably say. Is like, I don't like his performance, but they're going to say he was there. You remember after the Super Bowl thing came up, they said, well, Drake turned down the Super Bowl several times. Maul said it was twice. Then I heard it was 3 times. Then I heard it was 4 times, and just all that other BS. So yeah, man. Yeah, I ain't nobody trying to hear all that. It's taking it too far once Drake loses, right? And I don't rock with that, man. I think that in a rap battle, there is no limits. You know what I'm saying? It depends on how far they want to take it. And if they want to take it far, who am I to stop them? I enjoy the rap battle. Like I said, it's been 6 months since Not Like Us dropped, and it's been like 8 months. Yeah, it's been like 8 months since Like That dropped. Because Like That came out in March. And then, yeah, like, man, time has flown by, man. And it's still not over. Still not over. You said, Red, thank you for breaking it down how it should be told. Absolutely. Shout out to Jimmy Jump. Shout out to Jimmy Jump. But yeah, man, like I just don't appreciate that, man. And you know, I'm definitely I respect both MCs. I don't like the way Drake has been moving, to be honest. I think that he's made it worse on himself by taking all these selfies. And did y'all see when Drake was on I think he was in Toronto when Lotto had a show. Lotto had a show there and he was performing their song together. I want to play it so bad, but I know I'm gonna get a copyright strike. I know I'm gonna get a copyright strike, but Drake was just rapping and sounded all moist. I was like, what is going on with him? Let alone, you know, he got the little pigtails going on. He got the little pigtails, right? And to be fair, Snoop Dogg and dudes from Bone Thugs and Harmony and the West Coast, that's more of like a West Coast thing, but that goes to show you how much still of a culture vulture that Drake is. Toronto, well, wasn't nobody wearing they hair like that. That's a West Coast Black American thing. Let's keep it a buck. So he just further plays into what Kendrick Lamar called him out about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, you said Kendrick is not even doing what 50 Cent did. Yeah, exactly. 50 Cent was actually, he kept trolling. He was trolling before trolling became a thing on social media. Still going at him. If y'all notice, all Kendrick has done is drop music and make announcements. Literally, that's it. No Twitter, no tweets, no Instagram. The only thing he's done is post music on social media. No interview. Well, he did an interview with Bizarre magazine, but that's it. And he barely addressed the beef. He hasn't been talking about Drake. People always say Kendrick has been milking it. He's been milking it to get his 15 minutes of fame. All the man has been doing is just been dropping music. That's it. Shout out to Denise W. You said, I wish they saw how weak they make Drake look by coddling him. They should just accept that he took the L and give him uplifting words when they talk about it. Yeah, it was a good battle. That's what I'm saying, man. His fans, academics, those different Twitter pages, the people in the industry, like Gilly the Kid and all of them, Gilly Kid and calm down, but they all made him look more weak than he was because they create all these narratives for Drake. Try to dig and search to find anything they can. They literally go back and try to find old Kendrick Lamar videos, old lyrics, just anything they could find, but he lives a boring life and they're not successful doing it. You said, bro, Drake did blackface. Ain't no coming back from that. Exactly. You said cut off khakis, French braids, and house shoes. Yeah. Shout out to the Dog Pound, man. Snoop got a new album coming out too. Missionary is coming out next month, actually. And you said also the more the public have to come and remind these people what actually happened and debunk their lies, the worse exactly, man. They, like I said, they keep making Drake look bad, make him look weak, make him look like a sore loser. And it's a battle. Move on. Kendrick won. And anytime that y'all hate, y'all are intensifying Meet the Grams. Anytime that y'all hate, y'all are intensifying Euphoria. Anytime that y'all hate and comment and chime in on Twitter, y'all are intensifying Not Like Us. Not Like Us is still in the top 20, by the way. I don't know if y'all know that. But Not Like Us is still booming out here. You know, it took months for it to fall out the top 10 spot, but it's still going. It's still thriving. Okay. But anyway, let me cover some other things, man. Shout out to everybody that's in the room. Everybody, make sure you hit that like button for me right now. If you're on YouTube, hit that like button for me, like right now. And if you're on Facebook, do the same thing. Hit that like button or the heart button. It don't matter. All right, man. So has Young Thug confirmed Gunna is a snitch? Has Young Thug confirmed Gunna is a snitch? Now, if you've been hiding under a rock, Young Thug actually came out in a tweet that he deleted. Like, I don't know how fast he deleted, but right here, I'm sharing this article with you. It said Young Thug seemingly calls out Gunna in since deleted tweet. Stop acting like we friends. All right, let's go to the tweet. So this was the tweet right here. He said, Gunna, stop acting like we friends on the internet. I don't know you, my guy. I do not know you, my guy. Now, the first thing I thought when I saw this is, boy, that boy ain't gonna be able to make it 15 years on probation. Raise your hand in the chat. Do you think that Young Thug is gonna make it 15 years probation? Now, I'm glad that the brother is out. I'm glad that he's not. It's been 2 years since he's been in jail. I'm glad that he's not in jail anymore. However, 15 years is a long time to be on probation, ladies and gentlemen. 15 years. There's so many restrictions as well. And it feels like they gave him that in order for him to mess up because they felt like it was going to be a mistrial or something like that. But that's a very long time. So the reason I'm saying I don't know if he's going to be out that long and he might go back to jail is because he's already in that controversy already. I would think he'd be trying to lay low, but he's going on Twitter and talking about, man, I don't rock with you and stuff like that. And let me tell you the reason why he said that. The reason why he said that, do you remember when we heard the video in the courtroom of all the restrictions that they were going over and stuff like that, right? With the plea deal. So Young Thug and his lawyer requested that, because they said that YSL, he couldn't be in contact with anybody from YSL, anybody that was gang affiliated, stuff like that, right? But they requested that they were able to speak to like 2 people, and one of them was Sergio Kitchens, which is Gunna. Now, at first, when everybody heard that, everybody took it and ran with it. They were like, oh, man, so that means Gunna didn't snitch. Thug is solid with Gunna. They rock with each other. They're going to be, y'all owe Gunna an apology. They back on the same page. We about to get some collaborations. Y'all didn't know what y'all talking about. I told y'all Gunna wasn't no snitch. We heard all of that stuff, right? But Thug put that out to let everybody know that he don't rock with Gunna. He did. The reason that he agreed that he wanted to be able to meet with him is because Gunna is signed to his label, and you have to have interactions with him in order to do business with him. This means if he wants to drop him from the label, this means if he wants him to make money, any type of thing that's going on, they have to be in contact with each other, right? You feel what I'm saying? So when I heard that, I wasn't jumping on the Gunna didn't snitch thing. I was thinking, okay, in my mind, I was like, okay, well, they do have to do business together, so I have to be able to contact him, right? Which means that more than likely their lawyers are going to be talking to each other and stuff like that. But that's the reason why. And he threw that signal out there just so people know that he don't rock with him. Now, of course, he didn't keep it up there for a reason because he got restrictions and stuff. He's on probation, not parole, probation. 15 years. If he gets locked up again, 20 years automatically, from my understanding. So when Thug did that, he did it and took it down just so Gunna and the public will know, hey, I don't rock with you like that. And he could just throw the rocks, hide his hands, and be like, oh, okay, I don't know what happened. I think I got hacked. Because I don't know, did somebody say that he got hacked? Or did he come out and say that he got hacked? I forgot about that. But that was a dog whistle just to let the whole rap industry know we don't mess with him. Because I know that him and Lil Baby are supposedly having a song come out. I think he's collaborating with Metro Boomin. And of course, if anybody don't know this, you remember he put out that tweet while he was in jail that Drake and Future and all of them should make up. We brothers, we supposed to be cool. I think I covered that on the show. Academics confirmed that was cap. Elliot Wilson said that it was true, but Academics says that he confirmed that it was cap. So anyway, Young Thug put it out there that Gunna, he don't rock with him. So that means officially Gunna snitched on him. That's what I gathered from it. What you say, Zero? I'm a Thug fan, but sometimes people forget what slime means. Exactly. So yeah, man. I think that's what that was, and I don't think it was by accident. I don't think he was hacked at all. How wasn't he hacked while he was in jail? When he came out and said the stuff about Drake and everybody else collabing again. How are you dormant from your account that long? But when you get out, you get hacked. So anybody saying he got hacked, I don't believe that Young Thug got hacked at all. I think that he just kind of confirmed because if he just comes out and says that Gunna is a snitch, then he's tapping back into that whole gang activity. The reason that he's out on probation right now, the judge or anybody could see that, prosecutors could see that and say, okay, now we need to throw him in jail. We need to throw him in jail. You said the streamers and aggressive fighters, not those. Okay, what you still talking about the Kendrick stuff? And apologize over generalizing. Isn't that that's from is that from Watch the Party Die? I forgot. I forgot if that's from Watch the Party Die. But yeah, man, that's why. So yeah, I think that's confirming that he did snitch. Now, if we move on, Young Thug's dad was in the news last week because he called out T.I. and some other people. Yes, indeed. He called out T.I. and some other people because he feels like there's a lot of fake support right now for Thug. He feels like there is a lot of fake support for Thug. Now, let me pull this up and show y'all what I'm talking about. Young Thug's dad slams Atlanta artists who didn't support his son. So this is what he said right here. He said, we got all these rappers and everybody trying to find Young Thug. They want to talk to Young Thug. They want to this, that, and the other. Where y'all been for 29 months? Why y'all ass ain't been out there protesting for constitutional rights being violated? Y'all are the ones considered to be influencers, ain't influencing ish. He said, now you want to talk to him. You want to put out these monkey videos, all this for your personal gain. It's just your personal gain, your personal hype, trying to make yourself relevant. Yeah, and I ain't gonna play all what he said because I know he was doing some cursing on here. But this is what he said about T.I. right here, actually. He said, I asked him to do an event on behalf of YSL, and I was told, let me get with my people and see if I can do that. But yet and still, I see you right there beside Young Thug. That's when he needed help. So you know we got to stop all the fake. All right. I'm not sure if T.I. has responded to it. Usually T.I. responds to a lot of this stuff. But I'll say this to Young Thug's dad. Be quiet, dude. Zip it. You need to hush it. Be quiet. Young Thug does not have as much money as he had coming in that he did coming out. Young Thug, allegedly, Drake had flew to Atlanta. Did he fly here and give him $1 million? I'm bringing this up to say is that T.I. did he turn down your YSL event? Yeah, that's what you're saying. You wanted him to rally behind Young Thug and stuff. You know, T.I. is a convicted felon, right? A lot of rappers didn't want to get tied into all that. You know what I'm saying? Now, I can understand where his father is coming from, seeing this support, because, hey, my son gets out of jail, and if you align yourself with my son, you're going to get the money and the attention that comes with it. But Young Thug has been sitting in jail for the past 2 years, meaning that he hasn't been able to get on the road and do no shows. You remember, because he was doing a lot of shows, getting like $100,000 a show and all that. All that done slowed up, and he's been having to use his money and resources into that lawyer, to his defense team for 2 years straight. Now, I'm quite sure people probably threw him some money, but when you're not able to work, anybody, you know, I don't care if you're a celebrity or not. Everybody isn't just okay, people have to understand, like, when you're rich, you still probably have to keep on working, doing what you're doing. You never know anybody's situation, but it costs a lot of money to pay for those lawyers, to pay for those legal fees. You can get drained, and I think they seized his funds, from my understanding. You know what I'm saying? So they seized his money. So he hasn't been able to keep doing stuff. So I say all that to say is, like, Dad, if people are reaching out to try to give him opportunities and stuff like that, man, you need to hush. You need to be quiet, bro. Let Thug get his money. Let Thug get his money. Yeah, I'm quite sure that, you know, you feel like people are fake, whatever the case may be, but these people are here to help him as well. I mean, if I was Thug, I'd be like, okay, these dudes probably fake, but I hadn't been working like I need to work, haven't been able to tour. My money has been going into all these legal fees and stuff like that. So I think that personally, he should probably take the back seat to that. Let Thug get back on his feet. You said saying Gunna is a snitch hurts Atlanta as a whole. Bringing back anything T.I. has done, especially with Alpha Mega, is a bad look for ATL. I remember that Alpha Mega dude, and he was an informant, wasn't he? Wasn't he an informant or something like that? I remember that, and they had to out him. But yeah, I think that Young Thug's dad just needs to take a back seat. I know you love your son and you feel like people are fake and all this other stuff, but it's time for Young Thug to get some money. That point blank period. And if anybody is trying to co-sign him, throw him some money, different things, like align themselves with them, you know, with him or whatever, yeah, they're not going to be marching in the street for Young. That was a RICO case. Well, why would T.I. and them, who had already had trouble with the law and stuff, get out there marching and protesting and stuff? Those were like some serious charges at the time. Nobody wants their brand associated with a YSL RICO trial. I wouldn't. Now, secretly, I probably would have threw him some money or something like that, but you wouldn't want your brand, especially if you have endorsements, all that other stuff. You wouldn't want your brand associated with a YSL RICO trial with murders and drugs and guns and unregistered guns and all this other stuff. You wouldn't want that. So no, T.I. probably didn't want to march and do an event for YSL. He just comfortably probably didn't know how to tell you no. You know what I'm saying? So I don't blame T.I. for that. You know, so like I said, if I was Young Thug's dad, I'd be quiet on that. I would definitely be quiet on that. But yeah, man, thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the likes. Everybody make sure that you hit that like button right now. We are cooking with fish grease. We're cooking with fish grease, ladies and gentlemen. And for those who didn't see it, man, let me show y'all again. The brother O'Shea Duke Jackson for shouting me out. For those who are just in the room right now, let me show y'all this because some of y'all probably didn't get to see it in the beginning. But O'Shea Duke Jackson has shouted Red's View out. Listen to this, fair youth.
Here's what I want to do. There was a brother, shout out to this brother, man. He's a very good YouTuber. He broke it down. Shout out to Red's View, right? This brother, Red's View, R3DS View. Good brother, man. Shout out to the brother. He broke this down. He gonna blow up on YouTube, right? Shout out to the family. I want you to hear his interpretation of Lil Wayne and why he's not Super Bowl material.
Y'all owe Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z an apology. Yeah, so yeah, man, I just had to play that again for those who didn't see that. Make sure that you go check that out on his channel. You can check out the video I did breaking down Lil Wayne's performance at the Louisiana Fest on my page. I know we have some new subscribers and everything like that O'Shea kind of steered over in this direction. So shout out to all of y'all. But anyway, let's continue on with the show. Now, let's talk about this right here. Jess Hilarious versus Lauren LaRosa. Jess Hilarious, famous comedian, Jess Hilarious versus Lauren LaRosa. So if you've been hiding under a rock, you don't know that Jess Hilarious is back on the Breakfast Club. The start of this year, she returned. She was on the Breakfast Club, but she's been on a maternity leave for the past couple of months. It's been like, has it been like 2-3 months? She's been on maternity leave for a minute. I can't remember how long exactly it's been, but it's felt like a whole year actually. And Lauren LaRosa, who used to work for TMZ, she's a journalist. She came in and filled in for Jess Hilarious. Now, Jess Hilarious actually returned to the Breakfast Club this week. And people felt a certain type of way about that. Yeah, man. People felt a certain type of way about that. And some people, a lot of people, including myself, say that we want Lauren LaRosa back. Now, it looked like at first that they were going to keep both of them on the show, but people felt that Lauren LaRosa was more fitting for the Breakfast Club, meaning that she was a good journalist. She was researching things with this whole election, plus the Diddy trial, well, not Diddy trial, but the allegations and stuff. It's like Lauren has been reaching out to sources. She can articulate correctly. She can read correctly. It's been a breath of fresh air. Now, I was one of the main ones, all right, that said that when they were trying out, because, you know, for the longest, they had special guests after Angela Yee left, like all last year, they had different special guests filling in for the Breakfast Club. They had Ray J, Jason Lee, Lauren LaRosa, Jess Hilarious, quite a few other people, right? But shout out to Rhea Davis, my homegirl Rhea Davis, she was on there too. But a lot of people at the time felt like Jess Hilarious was the best fit for the show. I did, right? But when she became the official host for the Breakfast Club, or one of the official hosts, she got exposed. Jess, I love you. I love the energy that you bring for the Breakfast Club. But when it comes to reporting that news, when it comes to researching and all this other stuff, that Jess with the mess, is gut-wrenching to actually hear you report the news, sweetheart. And everybody in the comments have been saying the same thing. And the thing with Lauren LaRosa, I don't agree with a lot of her viewpoints. And I feel like when it comes to politics and policies and like that, relationships and stuff like that, she's very naive. All right. She's in her early 30s and she's a very naive girl. I don't like her viewpoints, but I love her professionalism and I love her journalism. She's been reporting on the Breakfast Club with Jess with the mess, and it's been a breath of fresh air hearing her report. And what I did on my channel, Red's View, I took a poll, and asked people who they felt like the best fit was, since Jess has returned. So I said, Jess Hilarious came back to the Breakfast Club today. How do you feel about it? That was 4 days ago. And these are the results. 38% said that we miss Jess. And then 62% said Lauren LaRosa is better. And if you look at the comments said they both bring something to the table. I love them both. Both are talented. They both have very unique styles. I like them both for different reasons. Somebody said Angela Yee. Somebody said this is a wild poll. Angela Yee, to be honest, and keep both of them. So, most people said they prefer Lauren LaRosa, but people in the comments said that they prefer both of them. Let me know in the comments, what do y'all think? Do you think that Jess Hilarious is better than Lauren LaRosa or vice versa? You said might sound weird, but Fast Money for Thug might finish. Oh, okay. You still talking about the Thug thing? Yeah, with Quan. Yeah. But let me know, Zero and everybody. Let me know who you feel, or do you listen to the Breakfast Club? Because I do. And I think that Lauren LaRosa was a good fit. Now, when Jess Hilarious came back, Lauren LaRosa was like, "Hey, I've been hearing that people been saying that I'm better than Jess and all that, but we can be sisters. They try to always put black women against each other and all this other stuff. But I want y'all to go back and look at that clip, and I would play it, but the Breakfast Club like to give strikes and stuff. So what Lauren LaRosa did, she kind of threw that out there saying that people say that I'm better than you. And I feel like she did that intentionally. I think she did that as shade in a nice way, because Lauren LaRosa really, really wanted that job. If you go back last year, when Lauren LaRosa was a guest host on Breakfast Club, she would always kind of vouching for herself and say, "Hey, I really want this job. I really want it." But Charlamagne and then was like, "I mean, people want Jess though." So I think that since she's been getting all this great feedback and pretty much showing them like, "Hey, look at my resume. Hey, look at what everybody's saying in the comments. Y'all need to keep me." I think she did feel a certain type of way once Jess came back, because she's been holding it down, getting all this great positive feedback. So what does she do now? And I thought at first they were going to keep both of them on there, but Lauren LaRosa wasn't on the Breakfast Club today. And boy, oh boy, Jess Hilarious reported the news, and she reminded me why I was so glad that she left. And like I said, I love Jess. I think she brings a good comedic element to the Breakfast Club, but she's not a good replacement for Angela Yee. Angela Yee, Charlamagne, and Envy had a dynamic trio. All three of them, you know what I'm saying? I think all of them had great chemistry with each other, and the show worked. Angela was that nice journalist. Charlamagne gave the comedic element, and DJ Envy just played his role, kind of being the mediator between everybody. I mean, because that's his show pretty much. But yeah, man, I think Angela Yee was dope. But honestly, I think Envy and Charlamagne could have done it themselves. You know what I'm saying? But having a female there does help. But I think Lauren LaRosa kind of proved herself to be good on the professionalism, because Jess be stumbling over words, and she doesn't feel like she wants to be there. And also, when she interviews people, it's kind of hard to listen to her, because she asks a lot of questions. She asks questions in a non-journalistic way. For example, if I have you, Maya, on here, I say, "Hey, Maya, so I know that you went to high school with J Red back in the day, right? So how was it being in high school with him? Because I know, like I said, that y'all graduated together from John L. LaFleur High School, right? And it was actually Prep Academy once y'all graduated, right? So how was it being with J Red? Because I know Mobile is a smaller place than Atlanta, and I know both of you live in different places now, but how was it? Was he funny? Was he smart? Was he shy? I always wanted to know that. And you see how I'm doing this long question? That's what Jess Hilarious does. I hit my mic. But that's what Jess Hilarious does. She gives these long-winded questions. She don't know when to cut it off, versus Lauren LaRosa asking a question and you stop it. Like, "Hey, how was it going to school with J Red back in the day?" Okay, and then you answer it. That's journalism, and you can dig deep inside and ask the right questions and all this. That's not her bag. That's not her bag. You say, "Listen, you said the old crew's name way better than Webby did." Yeah, he used to mess that up. You said Webby be high. Yeah, he do. I miss Webby being on the Breakfast Club, man. His interviews used to be hilarious. Webby needs a podcast, by the way, too. Webby, if you watching this right now, you need a podcast, bro. He used to crack me up on there. But yeah, man, I'm not trying to pit two black women against each other. I'm just saying who did a better job. And when Jess Hilarious went on that leave of absence, well, when she went on maternity leave, right? She got exposed. She was already exposing herself on the show, but she got exposed for not being the professional journalist that the Breakfast Club needs, the Breakfast Club deserves. So I'm pro Lauren LaRosa, even though I don't agree with all her viewpoints. But man, if you're not, I know Jess probably has a contract and stuff like that, but have Jess not report the news. At least have that. Like, have Charlamagne report the news if you're not going to bring back Lauren LaRosa. And it's funny because Lauren LaRosa has her own podcast, from my understanding, on a blog channel, whatever. And Jess had quoted something from her. That was her source. Ain't that odd? And a lot of people are like, man, if you're going to quote or use Lauren as a source, why don't you have her on the show? We want Lauren LaRosa back. I want Lauren LaRosa back. I think she was a great fit. All right, so let's move on to something else. Now, this is something that was in the news that was hilarious. As you know, Kamala got smoked in the election. She did. It is what it is. Y'all got to get over it. A lot of people have been spazzing out. A lot of people have been upset. Donald J. Trump is our president of the United States. He will be inaugurated in January 2025. It is what it is, right? But some people can't let that go. And we've come to find out about how much money, we knew how much was raised. She raised over $1 billion in like a couple of weeks or whatever, a couple of days, I don't know. But we find out that she spent millions of dollars on celebrity support. Millions of dollars on celebrity support. Now, we thought that some people thought that these celebs came out of the kindness of their heart and that they really believed in Kamala Harris. A lot of people really felt that Beyonce was out there just from the kindness of her heart, and she really, really believed in her. Oprah really, really believed in Kamala Harris. Eminem really, really believed in her. Megan Thee Stallion really, really believed in her. Turns out, no, they were compensated. They were compensated millions of dollars at that. Now, let's listen to this. This is fair use, by the way. Let me play the video first. Listen to this.
Voting for Donald Trump. I can't get over these numbers. $10 million for Beyonce to step up and back Kamala Harris publicly. $5 million for Megan Thee Stallion. $3 million for Lizzo. $1.8 million for Eminem. I mean, is that normally how it goes? You spend $20 million, you get yourself in debt to try to get a bunch of rich celebrities on stage? I've never seen that. Maybe I'm ignorant of the fact, but wow.
So that's the truth, man. And you see it right here. $10 million for Beyonce to give a 4-minute speech. $5 million for Megan Thee Stallion to get on there and shake her ass and embarrass black women. $3 million for Lizzo to get on stage and she didn't perform. I forgot what Lizzo had said that was controversial. But $3 million for Lizzo and $1.8 million for Eminem to go up there, get that bag just to say that he supports Kamala Harris. All right. What a waste of money. What a waste of money. What about if y'all pay that money to Dr. Umar Johnson for him to ask you hard-ended questions? Tariq Nasheed, Boyce Watkins, Dr. Boyce Watkins. What if y'all went to Angela Stanton King? What if y'all went to some actual scholars like Dr. Claude Anderson? You know, what if you would have went to Ice Cube with a contract with Black America? What if you went to people that the grassroots actually support instead of all these celebrities? Because it didn't work. It didn't work. Going to celebrities, like I've said previously in my videos, having celebrities at your rallies and stuff, that's cool. Does it influence some people? Yeah, but y'all tried to influence the wrong people. Megan Thee Stallion ain't finna get none of her fans to get out there and vote. That's not the demographic that's finna get out and vote, to be honest. Let's be honest about this. All Megan Thee Stallion did was got $5 million to go up there and shake her ass and embarrass the black community, in particular, black women. That's all that was. It was a waste of money. And it showed you that these folks are bought and paid for it. You had us convinced, well, not me, but you had us convinced that that these people really, really supported you. That these people were really behind you when all of them got millions of dollars to go out there. I would have did it too, by the way. I mean, shoot, if somebody throwing me $5 billion to get on stage or $10 million to get on stage and endorse somebody, I mean, I get it. I wonder how much they paid Cardi B. I know they paid Oprah some money too, but how does that make you look as an elect, a presidential, presidential candidate, right? It makes you look crazy. Makes you look crazy. You said told it was wild. Jit hit Beyonce, Swift. Oh yeah, I forgot about Taylor Swift too. Still lost. Told y'all Kamal is just a club promoter. That's what she is, man. She threw on concerts. Lizzo, yes. You said she could have just gave away food. Yeah, man. That was embarrassing. All of that just to get washed. She didn't just lose. She got washed. Did y'all see the final numbers in? Let me go to see the final numbers for the polls. For the polls. Hold on. Let's see what it is. All right. Because they, a lot of people don't look and see what the final count was because it didn't happen that night. But here it is, man. America looks like Charlamagne said, that she had a period. Kamala's campaign was so bad, she turned most of America red. Look at that. 312 to 226. I was honestly surprised she got that much, to be honest. But yeah, Trump washed her. So all that celebrity support went down the drain. And it showed that all she did was buy and pay for people, buy and pay for support. You had $1 billion, and I heard that she's in debt now. So I'm like, you didn't wasted $20 million on that's just from the celebs that we know about. I know Glorilla had to have gotten paid, and I hope all of them got a bag. Megan and Glow had got so much flack, and Cardi B got so much flack. I hope y'all got paid for that. And it's sad, all that money, all those endorsements, all that stuff. Just like y'all could have really did some good stuff with that money. And man, it is what it is with the Democrats. Maybe they'll learn next time. Now, let me get into this. Let's look at what Trick Daddy said. Now, Trick Daddy has been heavily in the news recently for his comments about not being African, not being from Africa. Now, before I comment, I'm going to play the video of what he said so we can get a proper dialogue of what was said so we can, respond to it accordingly. So listen to what Trick Daddy said. Fair use.
Trying to figure out how Afro get in front of my motherfucking race. I ain't never been to Afro color. I never been to Africa. Afro or Africa. Never been there. I'm not from Africa. I'm born and raised in Goose, Florida. I'm born in Goose, raised in Liberty City in the Poker Bean Project. I ain't never went to Africa. Ain't thinking about going there. And I heard it's a beautiful place. Yeah. And I know it's the motherland. Yes. But not my mother, not her mother, and not her mother's mother. That ain't their land. America, real true land is right here.
Okay. So he said that with his chest. Now, a lot of people gave him flack for that, but a lot of people gave him support. I don't see what he said that was a problem. I don't see what he said that's a problem. See, there's a delineation movement going on. And just because he said he didn't, so this is the thing. If you are born in America and your lineage is in America, meaning that you have no immigrants in your family, that means that you're a foundational Black American that's a descendant of slaves. Okay. We're our own ethnic group here in America. Now, is our lineage also traced back to Africa? Yeah, you can do a DNA test, and I have Nigerian in me and all this, right? But I don't know the exact village I came from. None of my family has been to Africa, can trace anything back to Africa. I don't have any relatives that are still in Africa that I know about. My foundation is here in America. This is my land. So him saying that, he shouldn't be attacked for that, because, if you're from Ghana, if you're from the Congo, if you're from Nigeria, if you're from Zimbabwe, any of those countries that are in Africa, you're an African. Now, this is the thing. Just because I'm Black, like this is like when they say African American, you have to be careful with that, because everybody's lineage, the life form of humanity, comes from Africa. And different race groups can come from Africa. Africa is just a continent. Now, of course, that's where we originate from, right? There are more African based people, like Black people, melanated people, that are in Africa than any other race group. However, we've all migrated to different parts of the world, from from America to the Caribbean to South America to just all parts of the world, right? So Elon Musk, don't you know that he technically is an African and he's white? Just like the whole Kamala Harris thing, they were like, "Oh, she's black because she half Jamaican." No, her dad is Jamaican. That's his nationality, right? But he's Indian Jamaican, not Afro Jamaican. So anyway, foundational Black Americans is our lineage here. I'm a foundational Black American. My roots go to Hope Hull, Alabama, Mobile, Hope Hull, Alabama, and then the Carolinas. That's where my people are. That's where they're from. I can trace my lineage back. There's nothing wrong with what Trick Daddy said, because the thing is, when people who are immigrants or whoever that comes over here, right, they'll try to blend in with us, but when they do something positive, get a doctorate degree, win awards, win in sports and stuff like that, they're proud to rep where they're from. No problem with that. But if I say that I'm a proud Black American, don't try to group me with everybody. Yeah, all of our lineage goes back. But does a Jamaican call themselves African? Some of them may do it, but that's not, they're going to say, no, I'm Jamaican. Some people say, don't call me African, I'm Jamaican. Don't call me African, I'm Haitian. So we have different lineages, and we have different, we're delineating right now, because see, foundational Black Americans have historically always embraced everybody. But once we feel like we've been getting disrespected, like when you come over here and when you commit a crime, you'll be quick to say, yeah, I'm black. But when you achieve something, that's when you want to say, hey, I'm a Nigerian American, you know, I'm a Jamaican American, right? You want to say all that stuff, like, which is, hey, it's fine, but we have our own ethnicity over here. It is what it is. So I didn't see a problem of what Trick Daddy said. He's never been to Africa, didn't think about going to Africa. That doesn't mean he's different Africa, but if he's don't have any family members from there, and the civilizations that my lineage probably goes back to in Africa haven't been there for hundreds of years. So we don't know. Our lineage is here in America. They tried to tell us that we came over on slave ships here when we were already here. Even if we did, a lot of us did come from slave ships, which it was a percentage of us, but they try to say it was way more than what it was. A lot of us are already over here. But anyway, even when the people that did come over here, when people got dropped off in the Caribbean islands and stuff like that, all the Dominicans and everybody like that, they call themselves Dominican. They don't call themselves Black. You get what I'm saying? Some people call themselves Creole before they call themselves Black. So it is what it is. If you were dropped off in America, or if you were already here, don't call me African American. I'm Black American. Some people say American descendant of slaves. Some people say B1, Black first, freedmen. But I go by pretty much Black American, or foundational Black American. Shout out to Eddie. You say he has a point. I agree. Our heritage is not African. When we claim that, we invalidate our power and roots here. Africans even separate themselves from us. He's not wrong. We don't get mad when Africans don't call themselves Black. Preach. Thank you. One can deep dive on YouTube as to why you cannot be from two continents. African American is not the same as saying Nigerian American. Not to mention some of our people were already here. Exactly. The legal status that are used in the United States of America to define nationality and race are inconvenient and confusing on purpose. Thank you. Y'all are preaching. Y'all are lighting this chat group up. When we say that we're Black American, then it's an issue. They say that we're delineating. No, but when y'all come over here, you'll rep where you're from, and we're supposed to just eat it and not say anything and group y'all with us. No, it don't work like that. And if anybody's offended with it, hey, it is what it is. You can go ahead and do what you need to do. Now, are people from the diaspora and from Africa and all parts of the world still our brothers and sisters? Yes, exactly, right? But our lineage is here, meaning that my grandma, great-grandma, great-great-grandma, great-great-great-great-granddad, and all that is here in America. That's here. I don't have any relation to people in Africa. Like, yeah, I can see my lineage can go back far. Like, I have DNA that's from there. But man, we are our own ethnic group. And Black Americans are the only ones who get shunned for repping where we're from and repping our lineage. Everybody else, Jamaicans never be saying that. They don't never say I'm Black. You know what I'm saying? They say I'm Jamaican. Literally. Dominicans never say that I'm black. You damn near have to beat a Dominican to say that they black, to let them know. They don't do that, you know. And then Puerto Ricans, they'll say, hey, I got, you know, and that's the thing with Puerto Ricans. Like, you can be white Puerto Rican, black Puerto Rican, or Afro Puerto Rican, right? But people like to claim what they like to claim. And my thing is, I'm all for it. Do your thing. But when I say that I'm FBA, Foundational Black American, let me be that. Let me be that, because that is my lineage. That is my lineage. So yeah, man. You know, a lot of people be on that BS. So it is what it is with that. But shout out to Trick Daddy. I feel him on that. Trick Daddy be saying a lot of outlandish stuff, you know, the Eat a Booty Gang and all that other stuff. But I felt him on that. He was preaching. Now, this is one more thing I wanted to cover before I get up out of here. So Ray Daniels was, you know, he has a podcast, and he had Jim Jones on his podcast, and he said something that stuck out to me. He said something that stuck out to me. And y'all, hold on, give me just a second. I forgot, what is it, 4120, I want to say. So basically, he talked about the year 1994. He talked about the year 1994, and is the year 1994 the most important year in hip hop? Is it the most important year in rap? I want you to hear his explanation for it. Let me see if I'm at the point where he's talking about. Hold on a second. Hold on. Y'all bear with me. Okay, let me see. Let me share my screen with you. Should have had it on the marker where it was. Fair use, by the way, fair use. Listen to this.
Daddy Kings and the Rock Cams, and then you have like a whole nothing against her, like Funk Dr. Spock and all that type of shit, bro. You heard? Yes, like, come on, bro. So like, you know what I mean? And for them to,
I had to say it right now.
Rakim, Tupac, Jay,
oh man,
Busta Rhymes, you know what I mean? Like, so it's like the era's over.
If you came in 94,
okay, yeah, here we go. I just wanted to share that part right there. So 1994, let's list everybody that he named. He named Outkast, Biggie, he dropped Ready to Die, Nas dropped Illmatic, and I'm gonna add somebody else on there. Bone Thugs and Harmony dropped Creeping on the Come Up. That was an EP. They're mostly known for 95, but 94 is when they dropped Thuggish Ruggish Bone and all this other stuff. So if you peep what he said, if you came out in 94, that means that you'll still be able to put out stuff and still thrive in 2024. And that made a lot of sense, because 90, like, okay, you had Dre and Snoop that came out. Drake dropped The Chronic in 92, the end of 92. Snoop dropped in 93. And then Wu-Tang came out in 93. But like, when you look before like 94 and 93, all those early 90, 91, 92, you may have not been able to last through going into the new millennium. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at everybody that I named, Creeping on the Come Up with Bone Thugs and Harmony, that you already know that group helped change the game forever with how they rap. Outkast was groundbreaking in Atlanta and made sure the South had something to say, right? Nas dropped Illmatic, and then Biggie dropped Ready to Die. Those were 4 important projects that came out to kind of change the landscape of what hip hop was going to become. When you look at it, you know what I'm saying? Because Outkast was that group that kind of mixed with the Far Side. You remember the group, the Far Side? They had that going with the Southern twang to it, and that helped really put Atlanta on the map when it comes to that actual hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like, Atlanta had stuff going on before that, but when Outkast came out, they paved a different way in art form in Atlanta. That whole Dungeon family, that's the beginning of the Dungeon family. You know what I'm saying? Out of that came Goody Mob, and out of that Rico Wade and all this other stuff. And then you got to connect that to TLC and all that. You know what I'm saying? So that drop, and then of course Biggie, you know, Biggie helped bring the East Coast back, because it started going West Coast once Dre, before that was NWA, you know what I'm saying? They started it, but then when Dr. Dre, when they started Death Row, when they started that, things started shifting to the West. But Wu-Tang helped kind of usher it back with the hardcore stuff, but Biggie commercially helped bring New York back, and then Nas was creeping up under that too. You know what I'm saying? Nas wasn't as popping as Biggie during that year as far as radio, but Nas made impact when he dropped Illmatic. So that's the question. Is 1994 the most important year? I'm not saying the biggest year, because you've had years where rappers were going quadruple platinum and going diamond and stuff like that. But when you're talking about the important year, the shift of the industry, I think that those 4 projects that dropped, Creeping on the Come Up, Southern Playlistic, Cadillac Funky Music, Ready to Die, Illmatic, that's when everything kind of shifted. And it was more of that futuristic, because when you listen to Bone sound, Outkast sound, it was futuristic. Nas was a combination of like Rakim on steroids and had ushered in a new sound, and everybody kind of, took heed to that, and he inspired a whole bunch of other people, you know what I'm saying? And then Biggie, of course, the name speaks for itself. But yeah, like I think that that is a pivotal year. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about the year 1994? There are other projects that actually dropped too, but those are some important projects that dropped, and they kind of changed the trajectory of rap. I'm getting stumbled on my words right now. So yeah, man, that was interesting. That was an interesting take of what Ray Daniels had said, and it made me really be in deep thought, because I knew it was a special year. But can you just imagine? It's like the biggest rap groups of all time, Bone and Outkast, came out during that time, and Nas, Biggie, like it's an incredible year, because you remember Tupac came out excuse me, in 91, right? Dr. Dre and them came out in 90. Well, Dr. Dre came out with NWA, but the Chronic came out in 92. Wu-Tang came right before 94 and 93 with 36 Chambers. I got that up here somewhere. Yeah, I'm actually sitting. Let me go this way. See it right there, 36 Chambers. Yeah, so that was, I think that's real. Y'all let me know in the comment section what you think about that. Was 1994 the most important year of rap? Because I'm trying to think of some other years as well. There have been good years in rap. I just think that with all of them these are all debuts, by the way. Peep that. These are debuts. Not like how, like the year 2001, when you had the Blueprint that came out, and then you had Nas Stillmatic that came out or whatever. They were in the game at that time. But I'm talking about those are debuts. Those are some heavy hitters to debut. You know what I'm saying? So 1994, very, very important year in rap. Y'all can let me know what you think about that. But anyway, man, yeah, we had a great time. You said not a bad take. Yeah, I agree. This is someone right here. You said MSK 555. You said no, he did not take it too far. He's talking about Kendrick. I don't think he took it far enough. Should have kept dropping the mother holes he had in stock. Now I think that he did enough damage. I think that once Drake had dropped the Heart Part 6, it was pretty much a wrap after that, and Kendrick would have been beaten up on a dead horse at the end of the day. So I think that Kendrick did right. I think he did right. But yeah, man, if anybody has not already, subscribe to the channel, the official YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/ResView. It's going across your screen right now. All you got to do is hit that and then hit the like button as well. Follow me on all social media platforms at JAYR3D. Go to Instagram right now, because I post these clips on Instagram, and I love for y'all to chime in too, because I have a whole plethora of people who be getting into with me on Instagram, a whole plethora of people on Facebook. So all you got to do is go in there and type JAYR3D. And again, tell a friend, and tell a friend about ResView. That's how the show continues to grow. You know what I'm saying? Like giving shout outs. If you want to collab, if you got a YouTube channel, we can collab on some stuff. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. You said they just mad because Kendrick destroyed Drake's career because people got money on Drake. That's true. You said 94 had some of the most iconic hip hop albums. Very, very true. You said 93 is the end of the golden era with Low and Theory by Tribe. I can see what you're talking about, the golden era, because a lot of people consider the golden era of rap in the 80s. I've heard people say the 80s, and it seems like 1990, 1991, 92, 93, and then when 94 came, it was a completely different sound pretty much. 96 was an important year too, though. It was, I agree. 96 definitely was an important year. Yeah, 96 was an important year. I don't know if it was as important as these debuts from these heavy hitters that came out. You said I agree. 1994, good music. It was important. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, man, like I said, I'm about to get up out of here. It's been fun. Shout out to all the new subscribers and future subscribers. When you see all these videos and stuff like that, I've had a blast with you all. Thank you, everybody, man, for joining me. And I will see you on the next edition of Red's View. Y'all be safe out there, family.